Okay, here we are back again with more Dragon Age Inquisition. And I think we're going to leave Skyhold now for the moment. And I think I'm going to try to head into the Fallowmire. I did some crafting and inventory management off camera. So I'm a little bit upgraded now with stuff. What have we got here? Oh, the search for the Hack Rider is done. Nightingale. Cameron is dead. Fully armored, locked in an inner room in his home, a knife in his back. He knew someone was coming for him. Ironically, the scene was exactly the same as one in the first Hardin Hightown novel. Someone sent a professional after this magistrate. They had to leave a trail. Cooper. Okay. That's creepy. And search for the lost in Sorrel. We found the emissary in the deep woods, but not the Marquis. Our man was shaken and could not find his voice, but he was able to lead our soldiers to a strange hut. It was recently occupied, but whoever lived there had escaped before we got there. Perhaps they heard our soldiers coming through the woods. Not the most ideal of outcomes. However, the soldiers discovered groves of medicinal herbs in the deep woods. A minor consolation. You did your best, Cullen. We got some prophet's laurel out of it, so that's okay. Let's see here. What have we got? A bunch of stuff.
Any word?
Cripes.
Nothing yet.
Let's find Crestwood's mayor. The mayor of Crestwood left a letter confessing that he was the one who flooded the village 10 years ago. Then he disappeared. The Inquisition must track him down if it's to serve justice. Liana says, let's see, Josephine says, I can ask the Crown to post a warrant for the mayor's arrest. Liana says, Crestwood's mayor will have to stop for supplies. I'll have my agents inquire. And Cullen says, we already have soldiers on the road in that area. They'll hunt down the mayor. Let's just have
All right.
Cullen's soldiers do it if they're there already. Hardin Hightown Unsavory Parallels. A copy of Hardin Hightown sits open on the table. Jevlin was waiting outside the captain's office when Don and Brenikovic slunk out, defeated. We're not getting a warrant, are we? Jevlin looked almost relieved. No. Donnan met his partner's eyes. The kid was barely 20 and looked like he'd walked straight to the Kirkwall barracks from somebody's potato farm. Taller and broader than the other guards, Jevlin slouched as if he didn't know how to fit into his own limbs, as if he thought he should be smaller. Hunched over in his brand-new, too-large armor, he looked like a child playing at being a guard. He was too green for a murder investigation. Maybe it's for the best, Jevlin said, almost speaking Donnan's thought out loud. You're on your way out of the guard, and I'm... He trailed off, then sighed. Questioning nobles in the middle of the night wasn't covered in training. Donnan glared at the kid. I'm a city guard, and so are you, recruit. Nobody gets away with murder while we are on duty. Jevlin stood a little straighter. What do we do, then? The captain wants proof, Donnan smiled. We bring her proof. Liliana has written a note in the margin. The dead magistrate. Attempt to implicate Varric? Why? And in what? Josephine says, we should support the official Kirkwall Guard investigation into this murder. Liliana says, if an assassin killed the magistrate, a word to the crows might tell us who it was. They watch rivals carefully. Nah, I think Liliana's got the right idea here.
Let's see what we have.
Let's do that. And now I think let's go ahead and go to the Fallowmire. So, Inquisition soldiers have gone missing in the marshy reaches of southern Ferelden. Because the region is largely uncharted, finding them will be difficult, but the Inquisition's advisors are determined to find out what happened and, if possible, bring their people back alive. Other soldiers are volunteering to search for their lost comrades. They won't rest until they found them. Yeah, let's send Cullen on this one just for shits and giggles. Why not? Alright, the missing soldiers have been found in a bog called the Fallowmire. They are being held hostage by Avar, who demand to meet the Herald of Andraste if the Inquisition wants to see its people alive again. Okay, I guess we're going here then. Let us bring, for funsies, Dorian, Varric, Cassandra. I don't know. Just for funsies.
thank you for coming. Maybe you can solve this mess. Our missing patrols are being held hostage by Avar, barbarians from the mountains.
What are they doing in a bog?
That's the thing. Their leader, he wants them to fight you, because you're the Herald of Andraste.
Why?
What do they have against Andraste?
Well, the Avar think there are gods in nature, as in the sky has a god and the forest. The Avar say you're claiming to be sent by one, and they'll challenge the will of your god with their own.
Great.
I think their leader's just a boastful little prick who wants to brag he killed you.
Yeah, that's fame for you.
Should I autograph something for him before he tries to behead me?
They think readings for the weak. You know, scholars, lowlanders, or legion peasants.
Sure.
Getting to our troops won't be easy. You'll have to fight your way through undead. But you're probably really good at fighting undead after Crestwood, right?
You're joking.
Does no one in Ferelden get to burn their dead?
Right?
A plague took this place. I wouldn't drink the water.
Ooh, okay.
The Avar are holed up in the castle on the other side of the Fallow Mire. Make her willing, the Inquisition's people are still alive.
Let's hope. Let's hope.
Inquisitor, I have something for you.
No, that's fine.
I don't have time.
You do have to wonder, though. You do have to wonder if anybody in Ferelden ever actually manages to bury their dead. Because, wow. Alright, so yeah, we're in a nasty bog. What a shocker.
Can we look around?
Probably. Let's poke around a little bit. Short note. Helen, I won't be in tonight. Rupert said he had a surprise for me. He teased me by saying Lady Peasley, which he always does when he's trying to impress me by pretending he's not impressing me. Don't tell Mum where I am. I made fresh porridge in the red pot for both of you. I'll care for her tomorrow, I promise. Lucia. Okay. Garbolg's Backcountry Reserve. Likely dropped to avoid seizure by authorities or because of seizure due to drinking it. Garbolg only brewed from 874 to 892 blessed, killed when the vapors in his beard spontaneously combusted. Yikes. Okay then. Before Andrastianism, Forgotten Faiths. The teachings of the Andrastian Chantry have been part of Thedosian lives for over 800 years. The Chantry guides us and teaches us. We are made humble in the knowledge that we have sinned, and yet we are inspired and given hope through Andraste's story and her song. But Andraste died almost 200 years before her Emperor Cordillus Draken established the Chantry and spread the Chant of Light. In those terrible years, Thedosians were lost. Crying for salvation, they took to anyone and anything they hoped could give them the answers they so desperately sought. Some returned to well-known faiths, like the Tevinter Imperium's cult of the Old Gods, which we hold accountable for the curse of the Blight and the Darkspawn, but others found their own paths, following false prophets and making false gods out of men. Many of these religions have disappeared, dying out with their adherents, like the Daughters of Song or the Empty Ones. Others, like the Blades of Hissarion, may still lurk in the hidden corners of our world. This book aims to remember them, so that we may find compassion for those who lived in those dark times, and also for they who even now are lost and turn to shadow trying to find light. From Before Andrastianism, The Forgotten Faiths by Sister Rondwyn of Tantervale. Okay. Interesting take on things. But sure. Also, I need to level everybody up. Goodness gracious. Dorian. Yeah, let's give you horror. So Dorian is a necromancer. He has the necromancer. Let's do Death Siphon. That's a nice passive to have. So yeah, Dorian is a necromancer. Each companion character has one of the specializations. So each class has 3 specializations. And of course, we have we have 3 members of each class in our set of companions. So each one has one of the specializations. So Varrig is an artificer. I'm not really a huge fan of the artificer specialization. Like trap stuff. But this passive here is nice. When an ally critically hits, you take advantage of their success faster with reduced cooldown times. So basically, all of your cooldowns are reduced every time a party member scores a crit hit. Cassandra, as a warrior, is a Templar. She has the Templar specialization. Blessed Blades is a group buff. Spell Purge is basically a dispel. Is basically dispel, but for a warrior. I'm pretty good on Dispel right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and give her Blessed Blades for a nice little group buff. I think that should take care of it. So let's move forward a little bit and see what we can find. Diary of Peter Marsh. The gardeners are too sick to save, everyone says. Grandfather and my brothers barricaded them in their own house so they wouldn't make anyone else sick. Yelled at me for watching instead of helping. Said it was for our own good. There's no more lights in the gardener's home. Yikes, that sounds terrible. Here's a codex entry on Rivain. Nowhere in my travels, not in the heart of the Imperium, nor the streets of Orzammar, have I felt so much an outsider as in Rivain. The chant of light never truly reached the ears of these people. The years they spent under the thumb of the Kunari left most of the country zealous followers of the Qun, but resistance to the chant goes deeper than the Kunari War. The Rivaini refuse to be parted from their seers, wise women who are in fact hedge mages, communicating with spirits and actually allowing themselves to become possessed. The chantry prohibition against such magical practices violates millennia of local tradition. That's from In Pursuit of Knowledge. So there's lots of dead people around here, because as Harding mentioned, a plague at one point went through here, so that's super fun. Level 12 corpses, of course they are. But I do pretty good damage here, so...
This can't be all of them. There must be more further in.
Oh, I'm sure there's way more. I'm sure there's way more.
Look, signs of a plague.
A cheerful addition to any decent swamp.
Indeed,
At least in
indeed.
the city, you can find a decent healer. Out here, you have what? Roots and berries?
Well, you know, you do what you can with what you have, Dorian. I'm not judging. There's a landmark up here. Might as well grab it. The Light of Andraste. There is a wind-weathered inscription on the statue. Commissioned in 655 storm by the illustrious Ban Hargrave, protector of the fallow mire, to commemorate the completion of her keep and to thank Blessed Andraste for her good fortune. Okay. Let's check out this hut here. Might as well grab everything while we can. All right. Yes, I'm still grabbing elf fruit. Don't judge me.
Careful. Disturbing the water draws them out.
Indeed, indeed. Alright, good. So yeah, basically every time you step foot in the water, a bunch of corpses come out of it, so that's super fun. Makes for a lot of you know, pleasure in exploring this area, and by pleasure I mean it sucks. Not when your party members do it, just when you do it. So like, Dorian isn't gonna be summoning dead creatures every time he steps in the water, but every time I step in the water, I sure as hell am. And I need Blood Lotus, so I'm gonna grab it, even though I'm gonna disturb a bunch of corpses by doing so. Okay. Right, Cassandra. Do you mind? Thank you. She didn't clear it completely. Because of course she didn't. Alright, is that clear? Is that now clear? Yes, okay, good. Oh, oh. There's a corpse. So yes, I have a new staff, if you haven't noticed. I made this staff for myself. It's a pretty nice one. It's called a rod, which is unfortunate, but I'm not usually into naming things. I might name some of my nicer stuff later on in the game, but I'm not worried about it. Stuck a corrupting rune on there, which is plus 20 damage versus living, and so yeah, it's pretty nice actually. I don't yet have a spirit rune, so I can't do that, but as soon as I get the ability to make spirit runes, I'm gonna start sticking spirit runes onto all my staffs. The Empty Ones. The Empty Ones were a small and short-lived cult based in Navarra and known for worshipping the Blight and, by extension, the Darkspawn. Some confuse the Empty Ones with followers of Tevinter's old gods, a reasonable mistake, since archdemons are said to be tainted old gods. However, it is clear from the histories that the Empty Ones did not worship Dumat and his ilk, but the Blight itself. Following Andraste's death, many of her followers fell into a deep despair. They believed that the prophet's betrayal and execution marked the beginning of the end of the world, and that the Maker's wrath would soon come upon them. The most fatalistic of them all gathered together to prepare for their doom. They called themselves the Empty Ones, for they saw themselves as worthless husks, ready to be swept away by the Maker's hand. It is unknown what passed then, but over time, the Empty Ones grew to believe that the Blight was to be the tool by which the Maker would end all of creation. They preached that it came from the Void, a place of nothing, and that returning to the Void was something to be celebrated because it meant an end to all pain and all suffering. Some mistakenly take this to mean that the Empty Ones worshipped evil, but that is an oversimplification. The Empty Ones believed the world to be beyond redemption, and that it was the Maker's will that it be destroyed completely. There are tales of Empty Ones scouring the deep roads, searching for Darkspawn, whom they saw as the Blight's prophets, in order to assist them in bringing about the next Blight. Predictably, the beginning of the second Blight saw the end of the Empty Ones. The entire cult made its way to the Enderfells, where they stood in the path of the encroaching Darkspawn, and, singing in praise of the oblivion that was to overtake them, were consumed. That's terribly fatalistic. Gardener Diary. Property of Ira Gardner is written in spidery handwriting on this collection of homemade recipes and remedies. The last entry reads, "First sign of the plague is coughing and going pale, like blood's run out of your skin. Elfroot soothes the cough, but doesn't cool the next day's fever. That's where the spindleweed helps. The ones I planted by the old shed came in quick. They seem to like where the soil's dry. I'll try making an ointment with it tomorrow." So these are the people that got barricaded in their house. That's terrible. Alright, let's move on, I suppose. Alright. I think, let's see here. Yeah, let's set Lost Souls as active, I suppose. At least for the moment. And yeah, I know what's gonna happen going into the water. It's fine. It's fine.
Another blighter fall!
Alright.
Is that a beacon of some sort?
I don't know. Is it? Let's light it up. Oh. Oops. There's corpses.
Look out!
Yeah.
One down!
Alright. Let's take care of you. Okay.
The beacon seemed to draw out the undead. We could use them to fight on dry land.
Keep an eye out for
Okay.
more then.
Let's do it. And also, I should light this thing. Light some Veilfire and take a look at this rune. Veilfire and the Fallow Mire. The Veilfire messages in the Fallow Mire are largely gibberish and imply a kind of paranoia. Certain letters and numbers repeat. It is possible the writing is in code. These Veilfire runes are interspersed with numbers and mathematical notations. They evoke a clear sense of panic, as if the author was trying to figure out a difficult problem. Okay. Let's continue. Did it drop something? No, that's just my... I don't need that, it's fine. I'm gonna grab my Blood Lotus, though, because I still need a lot of Blood Lotus. I need so much Blood Lotus. For, not just for the garden upgrade for Skyhold, but for, like, potion upgrades, too. I need ridiculous amounts of Blood Lotus, so... I'm gonna grab a lot of it here. This looks like another spot. Indeed, indeed. Apostate Widris's journal. This thick journal is half undecipherable. The parts that can be read are splattered with ink, as if the author had written them in a hurry. There were years of notes in that book. Years. Who could have taken it, or deciphered it? Did someone follow me from the circle? I bet it was Wernham or Claris. They always were jealous little busybodies. If they saw what I've done, the demons I've harnessed, they'd be green with envy. Who's afraid of spirits now, you simpering ewes? But I must have my book back. I will write down the cipher again before I forget. Again, these demons are clever. I can't have them demanding a price for decrypting my own notes. The concoctions I can make with the plants here, in safe amounts, will open my mind to vistas past the Fade. The demons hint it is beyond me because they wish to undermine me. It's so clear. It's so very clear. Somebody's crazy. Somebody's crazy, guys. Let's light this up. Here we go. Here's our terror. Let's grab him. Alright, good.
What do they call this? A bog? Lovely word.
Isn't it, though? It's a good word for it, too. Eh. Alright, let's see here. Let's see. Staring at the set of unreadable runes conjures up strong feelings of bitterness and arrogance in equal measure. They fade slowly. Okay. Let's take care of this stuff. Good crafting materials. I need more crafting materials. So many more crafting materials. I need all of them. Okay. Loot. Ooh. Nice. Smudge drawing. On this small note, the words "not deathroot" have been underlined 3 times. There's a small illustration of a plant that looks like spindleweed with this one underneath it. Okay. And we have ourselves a camp over here. Let's take care of that. A soldier memorial, huh?
Word for you.
Note from a scout. The paper is small and thin, meant for transport by a messenger bird. Warn the herald her life is in danger if she comes to the mire. Our patrol spotted Avar 3 days ago. We didn't understand why they came down from the Frostbacks until we were captured in an ambush. Their leaders said they came because they heard the Inquisition was in the area. They want to lure out and kill the Herald of Andraste to win favor with their gods. I escaped, but I can't free the others without help. I've found a good camping spot for a rescue party. We'll tend my wounds before heading off. Scout Aubrey Greenholm.
I don't have time.
Yes.
Okay. I thought there was something else here. I guess not. Let's keep moving for the moment.
No sign of the Avar who want to challenge me. Or the Inquisition soldiers.
I hope the Avar haven't gotten bored with the hostages and that they understand how hostages work.
Yeah, I am kind of feeling the same way about that, Varric. Let's keep moving. Ah, there's a... The Daughters of Song. Wine, music, poetry, and the wanton and frenzied indulgence of carnal fancies. These things characterize the hedonistic cult known as the Daughters of Song. Calling them an order of the faithful lends them a legitimacy they do not deserve. The daughters and sons, though they saw themselves also as daughters, celebrated Andraste's holy union with the Maker in almost every way imaginable, and it was only the holy union they venerated. Andraste's life, her war, her teachings, and her sacrifice were blithely ignored. At its height, the Daughters of Song numbered in the thousands. They maintained a stronghold in a village called Virale, in the fields of Ghislain. Virale saw a yearly event during which the Daughters of Song paraded carven images of the Maker's glory through the square. The Daughters of Song were wiped out by the righteous forces of Emperor Draken during his campaigns to unite all of Orlais. When the Emperor's forces sacked the village, the daughters would not arm themselves and were either killed or captured. The village was destroyed, and the cult never recovered. Okay. That's definitely interesting. So I've got a rift over here. Oh, and an Avar. Skywatcher. Okay. Hi, big guy.
So, you're Herald of Andraste.
Yes.
My kin want you dead, Lowlander.
I've
but
heard.
It's not my job. No fears from me.
Okay. Why aren't you attacking?
I thought the Avar wanted to fight me.
Our chieftain's son wants to fight you. I'm called in when the dead pile up. Rights to the gods. Mending for the bleeding. A dagger for the dying. That's what I do.
Okay.
I don't pick up a blade for a whelp's trophy hunt.
So, what are you doing here?
Why aren't you with the other Avar?
Trying to figure out this hole in the world. Never seen anything like it's like. They spit out angry spirits. Endless. What the sky's trying to tell us? I don't know.
Well, they're called Fade Rifts.
They're caused by the breach in the sky. It was some kind of magic gone wrong.
I know that, Lowlander. I'm talking about the Lady of the Skies. Do you not know her? Can't you see the warning she writes through the bird flocks in the air?
No.
You use the patterns of flocking birds as an augury, then?
We don't use them. They're sent. You see it, or you don't.
Okay. So do you know about my missing people?
The other Avar kidnapped an Inquisition patrol. Are they all right?
A few were injured in the skirmish, but they were alive. Last I saw them. Someone's trained them well. They killed more of us than I thought they would.
Yeah, Cullen's good like that.
Farewell, then.
Watch the water.
Indeed. Let's take care of this Fade Rift. Alright. Let's see, what can I dispel? Dorian still doesn't have dispel. I really need to give him dispel. It's ridiculous. What is going on over here? Alright, let's close this sucker. Boom. And done.
Aye.
Farewell, then.
Watch the water.
Yep.
Aye.
Farewell, then.
Watch the water.
Okay. So... let's continue on our little journey here.
Oh, quite a smell.
These people never had a chance.
Indeed.
Goodbye!
Ah, good. Okay. Let's, head up here and grab another one of these things. Oh man, I think that's 2 terrors. Fun. Fun, fun. Alright, let's focus fire on one. Ah, damn it. Oh. Let's focus fire on this guy. Okay, good. Did we get it? All right. Ooh, Fade Touch String Velvet. That's nice. Let's grab this rune, whatever it is. These particular Veilfire runes are completely impenetrable, but staring at them brings about the mental image of some kind of plant, and the impression it is somehow important. Then it fades. Okay. Doo-doo-doo. The good thing about this quest is that each of these spots has a fast travel marker at it, so I can pop over to here, refill my potions and stuff, and then pop back to here. And we're right where we left off, which is great. Oh, hello. Avar. Okay. There's another blood lotus. A cleansing rune. That's nice. I'm pretty sure, I want to say the cleansing rune is, for Darkspawn. The Lost City of Barad-dûr. On the 15th day of my journey across the Tevinter Imperium, our caravan reached a great rolling plain. Swaying grass hid flocks of birds so vast that when they took flight, their numbers blocked the sun. This, our guide informed us, was the great city of Barad-dûr, wonder of the ancient world, famed for its fountains which were said to grant eternal youth. Legend has it that during the celebration of the winter solstice, Carinatus, High King of Barad-dûr, turned away an envoy from the High Priest of Dumat. The priest called upon his god to punish Carinatus for the offense, and the dragon god of silence answered him. Months passed. The kingdom of Barad-dûr fell silent. In distant Minrathous, the priests of Razakal dreamed of dark omens. Their oracles declared that a dire fate had befallen King Carinatus. Finally, the fearful High King of Minrathous sent a company of soldiers to Barad-dûr. The men reported that the road which led across the northern plains ended abruptly. They walked for leagues over barren, empty rock where the kingdom of Barad-dûr had once been, all of it swept from the face of the world by the hand of a god. Not a single stone of Barad-dûr remains, and nothing of the once powerful city has ever been found. A secret now that can never be told. Interesting. So, like a lot of things in Thedas, of course, it's kind of hard to say if this is history or if it's just legend. But it's interesting regardless. Okay, I'm running low on time here, so I'm gonna call it. We'll pick this up next time.
What's Dasher from the Merchants Guild doing in the middle of a battle against ancient evils?
I could ask the same thing of a pampered, noble Tevinter.
You can't call me pampered. Nobody's peeled a grape for me in weeks.
Talk to Josephine. She can arrange something.
More than likely. Yeah, more than likely. But I think that's a good bit of banter to end our episode on. So yeah, next time we'll continue searching for our lost soldiers. As always, if you like what you see, please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode. Later.